Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we are putting on our industry insider hats. We're acting as marketing consultants to peel back the curtain on those massive, incredibly powerful psychological forces that drive exactly what we buy. I mean, billions of dollars are spent every single year on consumer psychology research just to figure out the exact mechanisms that get you to open your wallet. We're going to look at that precise playbook. But more importantly, we're looking at this through the lens of ethical marketing. You know, how we can understand these tactics, not to manipulate people, but to actually build genuine trust in what is a completely overwhelming marketplace. So, it's a question we've all asked ourselves, usually while staring down a surprisingly high credit card bill, right? Just imagine this scenario. You walk into a store. You're there for exactly one thing. Maybe it's just a bottle of shampoo. You have a mission. But then, 20 minutes later, you're walking out to your car and you've got 6 completely unplanned items in your bags. And the crazy part? In the heat of the moment, buying all that stuff somehow felt like the absolutely right decision to make. One planned item just rapidly multiplies into 6. And we do this all the time. We beat ourselves up over it thinking, ugh, I just lack self-discipline or I'm terrible at sticking to a budget. But as a marketing consultant, I can tell you right now, this is not a lack of discipline at all. It is literally a masterpiece of behavioral engineering. The entire modern retail environment, whether you're in a physical store or scrolling on an app, is meticulously designed from the ground up to just completely bypass your willpower. Which brings us to Section 1, the biology of the sale, or weaponizing brain chemistry. To really understand exactly how these marketing tricks work, we actually have to look at the underlying science first. Because essentially, our brains are running on ancient survival hardware. We evolved in a world of extreme scarcity, where finding something new or grabbing a calorie-dense piece of fruit triggered a massive survival reward response in our nervous system. But today, we live in an era of endless abundance. Modern retail and social algorithms absolutely weaponize that ancient craving for novelty. They pitch our deep evolutionary instincts against frictionless one-click checkout systems. It's really not a fair fight. And the real culprit driving this whole system is dopamine. Now, most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical, but actually, scratch that, it's more like the anticipation and reward chemical. It drives the hunt. This completely explains why just adding an item to your online shopping cart gives you this massive, palpable thrill. Your brain is anticipating the reward, but that excitement almost always fades the exact second the delivery box actually arrives at your doorstep. The hunt is over, the novelty is gone, and the chemical high just crashes. All right, moving on to Section 2, the marketer's toolkit exposed, the billion-dollar attention economy. Within the industry, companies literally spend billions to capture your attention first because they know the money inevitably follows. This right here is the actual toolkit. For example, the specific shade of red on a clearance tag, that isn't chosen at random. It is heavily A/B tested to trigger urgency. Hyper-personalized algorithms map out your specific vulnerabilities in real time. And then we use mechanics like free shipping thresholds to make you spend an extra $15 just to save $5 on shipping. I mean, it's mathematically illogical, but psychologically, it's irresistible. Now, check out the manipulative power of decoy pricing. Let's say you have a basic option for $50, a pro option for $90, and a premium bundle for $95. That $90 pro option, that is purely a decoy. Almost nobody actually buys it. Its only purpose in life is to sit there and make that $95 premium bundle feel like an absolute steal. It completely alters your perception of value, driving you to spend $45 more than you originally intended when you just came in looking for the basic tier. Then there is the sheer, unadulterated power of the number 3. Just seeing a simple flashing red tag on a website that says, only 3 left in stock, creates this intense artificial scarcity. We pair this with countdown timers, which, by the way, are often completely fake, and it physically elevates a customer's heart rate. It completes that biological circuit we talked about earlier. It hijacks your rational logic and forces an immediate impulse purchase, because your brain is literally screaming, if I don't act now, I am going to miss out forever. Let's look at Section 3. Social media and the happiness illusion. Why more doesn't equal wealth. On social media, influencers and luxury status symbols create this relentless pressure cooker. This constant 24/7 fear of missing out leads directly to lifestyle inflation. We falsely equate a bigger salary with bigger wealth. But because we're continuously comparing our real, messy, behind-the-scenes lives to everyone else's highly curated highlight reels, every single pay raise is immediately swallowed up by a nicer car, a bigger apartment, or the newest phone. so your expenses rise to perfectly match your income, leaving your actual wealth sitting right at zero. And this whole cycle is driven by something called hedonic adaptation. It's this psychological phenomenon where our happiness quickly fades after a major positive event, returning us right back to our baseline emotional state. This absolutely ruins the whole concept of retail therapy or trying to buy things to create a new identity. The dopamine rush of that new luxury watch or designer handbag, it's temporary. The happiness fades just as quickly as it arrived, but unfortunately, the credit card debt remains. Which brings us to Section 4, the ethical marketing pivot, intentional commerce. Now, as ethical marketing consultants, this is exactly where we have to draw a line in the sand. We are actually seeing a massive shift in the marketplace right now, moving away from the impulse buyer and toward the intentional buyer. See, the impulse buyer is running on this exhausting treadmill of immediate gratification and flash sales. But the intentional buyer, they practice delayed gratification, long-term thinking, and they demand high quality. Instead of tricking people with cheap countdown timers, the future of ethical business relies on elevating our practices to empower and genuinely serve this intentional consumer. It's all about quality products, transparent pricing, and actually respecting the customer's agency. Finally, Section 5, How to Escape, the mutual ecosystem of trust. To break free from this cycle, consumers are adopting a really rigorous defense playbook, and ethical brands absolutely need to respect it. People are implementing 24-hour rules before buying non-essentials just to break those dopamine loops. They're deleting shopping apps to remove environmental triggers, and they're automating their budgets and investments. As industry insiders, we really have to realize that trying to bypass these consumer defenses is just a losing game. Sure, it might boost a quarterly earnings report today, but it destroys long-term trust tomorrow. If we're doing our jobs right, we must build products and offer services that can actually survive a customer's 24-hour rule. I want to leave you with this idea. The greatest financial advantage a consumer can have isn't earning more. It's actually wanting less. Look, the industry has spent billions of dollars to completely understand the inner workings of the human brain. But true ethical commerce only happens when we shift that power dynamic back to the consumer. We know exactly how your brain works. But the real question is, do you?